Out-of-home advertising has hit a bit of a purple patch recently. The move to digital has seen the sector outperform other traditional media over the last few years. Companies like JC.Co and Clear Channel have invested millions of dollars in the hope of attracting more ad dollars. Short lead times and the flexibility of digital sites have made them attractive for advertisers, which may explain the healthy growth.
Growth has been driven by digitization the last 10 years. So as with many markets, if there wasn't a digitization effect, as a traditional channel it probably would have declined significantly. Growth rates year on year have been up 4 or 5%, but growth rates in digital have been 30% plus in many of the main markets. At this point in time, only about 10% of the screens in the UK are digitized, but they're generating over 50% of the revenue in the market, and that trend is the same across other markets, major markets around the world.
So why is digital outdoor doing so well?
I think where other channels are seeing the fragmentation of audiences, so the audience is becoming harder to reach. Actually, urbanization continues to drive audiences in outdoor. So if you want to reach 98% of the population on a weekly basis, the landscape is there in the outdoor market to do that. That's increasingly difficult in other channels, whether it is traditional press or TV advertising, and obviously more bottom of the funnel channels.
But there might be another reason for outdoors performance: a significant reduction in programmatic advertising due to the EU's data protection rules, or GDPR.
Outdoor is GDPR compliant, so any of the data that is used in determining how people buy outdoor is entirely GDPR compliant and it's anonymous. We've actually seen one of our customers who, previous to GDPR, was able to communicate via email to 60% of their customers, have suddenly in one fell swoop gone to only being able to communicate to 0.6 of those customers because of the opt-in requirements that GDPR imposed upon them. So I think it remains to be seen, but from an outdoor perspective, we would see that it's a channel that doesn't have the same problems as elsewhere, and there's mass reach, and it's increasingly capable of showing performance in the way that other channels have done in the past.
So who should be thinking about beefing up their outdoor presence?
Outdoor is excellent for reach and frequency, big brand building campaigns. So really the comparable is buying TV advertising, which is much more expensive. It can be 5 to 6 times more expensive in terms of capacity to buy TV, and tends to be only used by the largest of advertisers. In outdoor, smaller budgets can be deployed in the market by smaller advertisers who need that brand reach building perspective that is only created by TV.
But what about analytics? Can advertisers easily maximise impact and minimise cost across the 400,000 digital screens in the UK?
You've got mobile location data, you've got increasingly the capacity of advertisers themselves to take information that they have that is GDPR compliant, that has a location element to it, from databases like their CRM systems where there has been an opt-in, and that data is increasingly being used in the process of defining locations that index highly in the real world for the audiences that those groups are trying to reach. So that data sits there, it's growing, it's easier to keep and store now. And the data that is GDPR compliant is being used to power a significant part of the way in which people are buying in this space at this point in time.
In the UK, only around 10% of outdoor advertising sites are currently digital, so there's plenty of room for growth.
I think it'll take 20 to 30 years for everything to become digitized, but I think that's the direction of travel. I think that the nature of how the screens will be used will still vary between the different screen types. But in terms of operational cost to run a digital screen, we're now at a point where even if you were putting the same content up for a 2 to 4 week period, it would be more operationally effective to have a digital screen than have a poster network that requires somebody to go and post a poster up. So I would say that we end up 100% digitization, but the nature of how the screens are used will not change, where there's complete customization and personalization across those networks.
Hello, I'm James Wright. Thanks for watching Marketing Media Money. To check out more online videos, just click on the boxes, and don't forget to subscribe to the CNBC Live channel at the bottom of the screen.